Well, good evening, everybody. This is Geordieland 1892. Just got home from graft and heard some interesting news that had basically come out this morning. Newcastle are on the hunt again, which we've been on the hunt all the time for new players, looking mainly for a right-sided winger or a forward. But in this case, Newcastle United seem to have made official that they're going to put in bids for two players. Now, obviously, we have been linked with every player on the planet since January. But one of these players, well, both of these players really have been on the radar before. The only thing is that one of the players, we've never actually put in an official inquiry into buying him. But it seems that has changed. Now, the first player is Bamba Dieng. He's Senegalese. He plays for Marseille. He's a centre forward. He's 22 years old. He was mentioned earlier on in January, actually. But since that time, I mean, he wasn't available then, let me point out. But there had been a leadership change, well, a manager change at Marseille, Olympique Marseille. And it would seem that Igor Tudor doesn't really want him or doesn't really see him in his future plans. And it seems as if they've given him the cold shoulder. So he is kind of looking for another club to go to. He would cost around about £15 million. I think, why not? Why not? He is a good player. And we have looked at him before, but he is available. He is available now. And obviously that second player is Lucas Paqueta. Well, we've talked so much about him, haven't we? The fans have anyway. Best mate of Bruno Guimaraes. Both played at the same club. They both play for the national team. Paqueta was spotted in Newcastle visiting Bruno, walking about on the quayside and having a nice time there, little bit of a vacation, having a barbecue in the back garden, and I think that's when it all went a bit. The radar and the ears picked up. Everybody thought that he was eventually going to come to Newcastle. It hasn't happened, but obviously a lot's happened since then. Paqueta has said that he's open to a move somewhere. He wants away. Obviously there was a bit of a change in the hierarchy at Lyon. It seems that Newcastle United have eventually put in an official query for the player. It would cost around about £35 million. That would be. That's probably around about €50 million. I don't know. I haven't worked that exactly out. But would that? I mean, that would just be unbelievable. Joelinton, Bruno and Paqueta. Absolutely fantastic. Gives competition. Paqueta is an attacking midfielder. And if we can get the other lad in as well, it just bolsters our forwards, our attacking ability. It is a big question mark because Newcastle might be very, very serious about bringing him to St James's Park, and I'm sure that Bruno is going to have little whispers and a word in his ear, and probably he'll turn his head a little bit, and it probably would be great for them both to live and play up here. It would kind of probably, as support to each other. I think it couldn't be a better move, could there really? But unfortunately, Manchester City are sniffing around the player, and apparently Arsenal. I'm not that concerned about Arsenal, to be fair. I am concerned about Manchester City, though. Apparently, I did read that he was quite humbled at the fact that he was asked if he would play at the Etihad. But I don't know. I've got a feeling if he's going to come to the Premier League, I think he might come to Newcastle. And if the money's right, the offer's right, who knows? But it would be a dream come true, wouldn't it? Imagine that in the middle of the park, the Brazilian midfield there. And there's a good chance that all three of these could be going to the World Cup, unbelievable. So, just basically speaking about that, let's see what happens, and let's see what comes out on these two attempts to try and sign these players. It would underline and complete an absolutely fantastic summer spree for Newcastle United. I'm over the moon as it is at the moment. Don't get me wrong, I would like to see a striker come in, a bit more striking power. If it finishes the way it is, we've still got another 3 weeks or so, but I'm quite happy as it is. But if we got these two over the line, or even just Paqueta, really, I would be over the moon. But if we get both, that would be sensational, wouldn't it? Now, obviously, everybody's been talking like last week about, Maddison from Leicester coming to Newcastle. It really seems that Brendan Rodgers is like hanging on for grim death, really, like trying to stop him from leaving. Newcastle have put 2 bids in. I think Leicester are waiting for a third. They do need the cash, that's for sure, as they haven't bought a player yet this season, and I think that's due to FFP. But rumours have it that Martin Dubravka could be part of that deal and he could go the other way. I'm quite concerned about that, actually. My concern about that is don't get me wrong, Nick Pope is a very good goalkeeper, and we've brought him in for a song, really. But what would happen, and I don't want to Joan or anything, but what would happen if something happened to Nick Pope? Are we going back to Carl Darlow? This kind of doesn't make any sense to me. I realise it's very hard to keep 2 very, very class goalkeepers, one sitting on the bench and one getting first team football. Martin Dubravka obviously wants to play first team football, but I don't know, it's a hard one, isn't it? It's a really hard one. But I tell you what, if we can get this deal done with these 2 lads from the French league, I would be over the moon with that. And what happens to Martin Dubravka, really, we don't know. Eddie Howe has said, he doesn't want him to leave. But, it's up to the player, isn't it? Anyway, that was just a little bit of news, obviously, on this Tuesday. Anything that happens, I'll be back. So remember, if, you like the video, please give us a like, because, it helps the channel, helps with the numbers. And also, if you haven't subscribed and you do watch it, please subscribe, because I've noticed there's a lot of people watching, but a lot of people haven't subscribed either. So anyway, from Geordieland 1892, a week in Geordieland, that's it from me, really, and I just want to wish you all the best, and let's keep our fingers crossed for this deal. These 2 deals, it would be monumentous, wouldn't it? So bye bye for now.